here left. We still have to do overrated, underrated, which is going to get kicked to tomorrow, by the way. Let's do this. All right, top 10 quarterback rankings in the SEC. Disclaimer here, I'm a tape watcher. I think you guys know this by now. These rankings are a combination of what I've seen on the tape, okay, the efficiency, the effectiveness that you are playing with now, okay, plus the ceiling of the athlete, okay? How good can you ultimately be if you were maximized? Okay, so this is not a Brooks reads the stat box type of messages, okay, or type of rankings. If you're someone, okay, I don't block people on Twitter, okay, unless they're just, abhorrent or annoying, okay? But if you get into my rankings discussions with, here's the stats, and you just send me SEC stat leaders, you might fuck around and get blocked from now on, because I think you're an idiot, and I don't have time for people who are idiots on my timeline. So be very careful how you respond to someone like me who puts out rankings that are strictly based off what I see, feel, and know about the situation, not some mythical number you put into a stat box, all right? Just putting that out there. You're going to mess around and get blocked if you come in with some stats. Duh, look at the stats. Get out of here. Number one, Spencer Rattler. Hey, did you know that if I just say the second half against Georgia, the number one team in the country and one of the best defenses in the country, if we just took that half out and it just didn't exist, did you know that Spencer Rattler will be completing 85.5% of his passes?
That's it?
That's it? 86%. Mans is out here throwing darts, cuz. All right? He's been sacked 17 times. 17 times in 4 games. And he's still managing to play flawless football. I said it on Twitter. He is playing NFL quarterback behind a high school offensive line. That is not a shot at coaching. That is the reality situation. He's got 2 tackles right now, true freshmen. They're getting spun like a top on a consistent basis, despite the fact that this quarterback is playing phenomenally right now. I think he was 18 of 20 for 296 yards last week. He had a QB rating over 200.
Whoa.
Yeah, he's playing phenomenally right now. If you think otherwise, you're ignorant.
Hey, go Cox.
Yeah, hey, go Cox. Number 2, I got Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels leads the conference right now in passing yards per game, touchdowns thrown, and he is LSU's leader in rushing attempts. You a stat guy? Yeah. Don't do the stat guy. Don't do the stat guy. Turn the tape on. Turn the tape on. They are scoring and scoring in bunches through the air. Okay, a lot of his Malik Neighbors, okay, a lot of his him being really, really good on the outside, okay, but a lot of great balls over the last couple of weeks from Jaden Daniels. And I also take into the account how much you're asked to do, okay, how much is put on your shoulders, all right? So if you're basically the entire run game, like the next 3 guys, are actually Connor Weigman's next, but the next couple of guys that we're going to talk about are ranked as highly on my roster or my rankings as they are because, man, the demand for them, not only in the passing game, but to acquire hats and move the ball in the running game is really, really impressive as well on the college level. Connor Weigman coming in at number 3. I know he got hurt here. I'm keeping him here. He has the highest ceiling in all of the SEC. He does. If you told me one of these guys is going to be a top 3 overall draft pick, teams are going to absolutely wager to know that this guy is going to be good or to take a chance at drafting him, it's this guy. I think he's the biggest, highest ceiling of anybody in this conference, and that's enough for me. The ankle injury looked pretty tough, so we're just going to hold him there, even though I don't think he's going to play this weekend. I got KJ Jefferson at number 4. He's having to play virtually perfect for them to win. The only problem is he hasn't played perfectly. 2 interceptions last weekend, and, he's going to have to continue to put the ball at risk. He's going to have to do things that are almost super heroic. He's also averaging like 16 carries per game right now. They're asking him to do a ton. If he doesn't go, they don't go. Again, if he plays perfect, I think they're undefeated. They really are. If he doesn't turn the ball over, they play undefeated, or they are undefeated. I got Jackson Dart, number 5. I watched that tape this morning of that Alabama game. I thought the performance of Jackson, okay, and the lack thereof, it didn't look great in the box score again, okay? But if you watch that tape and look at it, you walk away being far more impressed with Alabama's defense than you would unimpressed by Jackson's performance. I thought he protected the ball relatively well. He had an interception in the football game, I understand. But there were throws where, there's only one spot for us to catch it, And we have to put it there or we're going to turn it over because coverage is so tight. And we put it right there and Alabama just gets a fingertip on it. Or we put it right there and our guy just doesn't quite come down with it. Or we put it right there and it's out of bounds, okay? Just very, very tic-tacky things. And again, he's one of these guys that, I mean, he is their offense right now. He is their interior run game. They don't have Quinshon Judkins, great running back, not having a season this year, not having what he had last year. They can't seem to get him loose right now. Number 6, I got Brady Cook. I talked about it in the local hour. I legitimately think Missouri would throw for 500 yards per game if they didn't have to protect their defense right now. They've given up over 30 points the last 2 weeks to mid-majors. It doesn't look great. Not mid-majors. They gave up 38 points to Kansas State. They gave up 31 points this past week to a mid-major program in Memphis. Okay, so this defense hasn't been great. They've been running the ball to protect him, but Brady Cook, I think, is averaging over the last 3 football games, over 350 yards through the air. He's playing really, really well, and he's got a bunch of weapons, and I think Drink does a really good job of designing up winners for that offense as well. I got Carson Beck, number 7. Somebody asked me today, what would he have to do to climb some of these other guys? It's hard for me because those other guys produce such a level or produce such a threat and add such a spice to the offense because of their running game. And in college, that is valuable. Being able to run the football and add an RPO concept as evolutionized offensive play in college football. But I'll tell you this, if he goes out and throws for 330 against these SEC opponents and looks confident and they continue to connect and develop more on the deep shots, then yeah, you're going to see some skyrocketing from our guy Carson Beck in this list. I got A.J. Swan, number 8, and Will Rogers, number 9. They finally let our boy Will Rogers throw it. I think he threw it 48 times last week for almost 500 yards.
Yep.
They finally let Will Rogers rip it. What?
Sorry, Aaron Murray.
Yeah, sorry, Aaron Murray. It's unfortunate for the friend of the show. But could you find a 10th quarterback in this conference that's good, that you feel confident in? He's going to show up this week, throw for 250. Two touchdowns, not turn it over.
I would be comfortable putting Joe Milton at the number 10 spot. I mean, that's number 10 out of 14 is bad. Like, let's not pretend like it's like
we showed some love to Grammy Mertz last week.
Yeah.
We had him 9 and Joe Milton 10, and then Grammy Mertz showed up this week, laid a dud against our boy Biff Poggi. Mm-hmm. Not Poggi, by the way. Spoiler alert for this network. I know it's a heartbreaker. Biff Poggi on the pronunciation.
Yeah, so I would put Joe Milton at 10. But again, it's like it's 10.
So you're choosing between Joe Milton, Graham Mertz, Peyton Thorne.
Jalen Milroe.
Jalen Milroe. That's it.
No, Jalen Milroe. Whoever Alabama's quarterback is number 14.
If you did have to pick a 10th, Joe Milton. But I think it's also funny that Brady Cook was getting booed coming into the game just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And now Buddy's just balling.
Drink had to just absolutely, castrate his own fan base. I love watching a coach get a little ticked off with his fan base. Maybe the next time never mind. If I were to rank, I was going to say maybe the next time Georgia fans boo at home, I'll lob one up to Kirby and be like, hey, Kirby, what you think about them booing y'all motherfuckers? And see what he thinks about that. I would tell you, though, it's not great. It's not great at the quarterback position in the SEC right now. And if we were to play a game, and we're going to play a game right now, how many of those 9 that we just ranked would you put in the top 10 in college football at the quarterback position right now?
I'd have to go with none. Like even
that's an incorrect answer. Because there's at least one.
Here's the thing: even as good as Spencer Rattler is, I don't think he's got the. If you take Spencer Rattler, yeah, he's top 10. But what he has around him keeps him from being that.
But he's still performing at a top 10 level.
Yeah. I mean, I look at it as the way of what you just said, though. If I put Spencer Rattler in a different situation, people probably might be talking about him as the best quarterback in college football.
I would agree with that, but the fact that you're on South Carolina right now is not doing you any favors.
Here's how I ranked it. Caleb Williams 1, Michael Penix 2, Drake May 3, Spencer Rattler 4, Sam Hartman 5, J.J. McCarthy 6, Quinn Ewers 7, Jordan Travis 8, Bo Nix, ? 9, Jaden Daniels 10.
I like that. I like that list.
That's how I ranked
Where'd you put Spencer Rattler?
4.
Okay.
I think Spencer Rattler right now, because, my lists are also ceilings and all that stuff that we, proclaimed in our original disclaimer. I think those 3 guys ahead of him, Penix has a slightly higher ceiling just because of the frame. But Caleb Williams and Drake May are the first 2 picks in the draft for a reason. They will be. And then But if you were to just tell me, hey, who's playing the position the best right now? It is Spencer Rattler. Turn it on, guys. Turn the tape on. He is doing fanatical shit.
And if you were to ask me right now who's the quarterback that gets picked at pick number 25 in the first round next year, Spencer Rattler very reasonably could be that guy.
Played a lot of football games. You're making that face. The NFL teams are going to come around on this. I'm telling you.
Got the arm for
got
it.
the arm, played a lot of football games, understands, knows how to play within chaos. Okay, so if I'm a bad football team with a bad offensive line, what's new for him? He's been getting hit like a dummy for a while.
It goes back to what I always we inflate the first round with like, oh, there's 6 guys that are going in the first round. And that just almost never happens in the NFL. No one's getting – Drake May, Caleb Williams are gone, like right off the bat. Then after that, what's next? 2 or 3 quarterbacks maybe taken off the board?
That's what I'm saying. Like, do you think it's crazy to say that, like, Caleb Williams number 1, Drake May 2 or 3 right after that?
J.J. McCarthy somewhere in there, and then Spencer Rattler?
I was even going to say, like, Michael Penix at pick number 12, and then Spencer Rattler, 25.
It's feasible. I don't know if I, like, absolutely like, oh, yes, absolutely. It's feasible.
Say right now, yeah.
All right. That's our show for tonight. Appreciate you guys for being here. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button on your way out. Give me a